Musical references I could make about this fight at heavyweight. We have a couple of guys that have been around the block. In the mountain, Jared Vanderaa. Now, the UFC, they're not really pushing that nickname anymore, but Jared Vanderaa is one of the biggest heavyweights you're ever going to see. His last fight, he weighed 265.5 because he's a consummate professional. He didn't have to Greg Hardy it and lose a little bit more weight. He didn't have to Justin Tafa it and fight at super heavyweight. No. Jared Vanderaa, he makes the weight. Now, his Instagram game is a little different. It's a little out there. But when you watch Vanderaa fight, it's blood and guts. I mean, if you saw his fight against Tafa, it was blood and guts, and he was able to get the win there. And listen, his last time out, was he on the losing end? Yeah, I'm asking you a rhetorical question. He lost to Alexander Romanov. And I bet you that Ilir Latifi's somewhere going, damn right I don't have to fight Romanov anymore. I'm excited about that. But you're going to lose to a guy like Romanov. You're going to lose to Sergey Spivak, I guess. But just don't call out Sergey Spivak and then lose that bad. But when it comes to Jared Vanderaa, very positionally sound once he gets into the clinch, and that's what he wants to do. He's going to pound you with uppercuts. He's going to take you down. It's going to be rinse and repeat. And he weighs on a lot of his opponents. And that's how he wins. Is it the most exciting heavyweight style? No, it isn't. Against Tafa, was it a little bit of that and a little bit of the striking? Yeah. And did he get cut open? You're darn tootin' he did. Now, again, the musical references, Matt. Which song is better? The Mountain, the Dierks Bentley song, or any other song by Pitbull?
Before every middle school basketball game, they would play Hotel Room Service by Pitbull. I don't know why. Not really an age-appropriate song for the time. But you're ready to, hit three-pointers after that. So I'm going to say anything by Pitbull beats Dierks Bentley.
I don't like Pitbull. And
we got the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn.
This will get lost in the pandemic, and I hope somebody out there gets this reference, but you might not. In the pandemic, Dierks Bentley came out with an entire country comedy album that just did not do well. And it's like everybody forgets about it. But when it comes to this fight, Matt, again, contrasting styles, because for Andrei Arlovski, you look at his record and it's very deceiving. A lot of wins by knockout, but that was really early on in his career. A lot more wins by decision lately. He had that period about 3 or 4 years ago where he was losing to every top contender out there. And then since he's filled in this gatekeeper role, 4-1 in his last 5, and he's kind of been really consistent on a little bit of a heater.
Okay, before, we weren't even recording when I was talking about this, we talked about Brook Lopez earlier today. But Andrei Arlovski, to me, is exactly Brook Lopez. Just bear with me, everybody. Brook Lopez was a star player for the Brooklyn Nets. He was very good. He got a lot of high post-ups, averaged 20 a game. Then he went to the Lakers, didn't really work out there, and he signed he signed a very cheap deal with the Bucks. He went from being a star player who could do a lot of things, and then he went into a reduced role. The Bucks have other star players. We don't need you to do everything. We just need you to get better at the things that you are already good at, and then find a way to use that and just sort of accentuate those parts of your game. Andrei Arlovski went from being a star player, if you will, a guy at the top of the division who could beat anybody on his best day and outplay anybody on his best day, if you will. Now he's just refined the things that he does very well. He is extremely mobile for a 43-year-old heavyweight that's been knocked out 17 times.
Happy birthday, too, because a week and a day ago it was his 43rd birthday.
He's 20 years older than me, Craig. It is wild. Andrei Arlovski's been around and done that for a long time. And it is kind of wild because I don't really look at him and think wow, I'm really worried for his health every time he's in there. When BJ Penn fights in MMA, I'm going to be honest with everybody. I don't like watching it. He doesn't really fight like the same guy. He's very different. Arlovski still moves in the same manner, though, and I might not pick him every fight, picked against him in his last one, but he still does the same things that sort of got him to the dance all that time ago. But I do like what you brought up, though, about how you look at his record, you see all these knockout wins. It is deceiving. Those knockout wins, for the most part, are pre-2011, and then at this stage of Arlovski's career, he is happy to sort of be that elusive, volume-striking heavyweight, but that guy's given a lot of prospects on their way up a lot of trouble these past couple years.
So the 5-on-in for Arlovski, Felipe Lin's former millionaire from the PFL. He beats Tanner Boser by decision, albeit a close fight, but he wins that one. He loses to Tom Aspinall. He beats Chase Sherman. He beats Carlos Felipe. You're not going to see Chase Sherman in the UFC again. You might see Carlos Felipe if you're lucky, but he's away on the USADA sussy. And if you go over to Tai Tuivas's IG, he made fun of him. For Vanderaa, the 5-on-in, if we focus in on it, I'm pretty sure Tony Lopez is in it. He is. He is. Harry Hunsucker lost to Spivak, the win to Tafa, and again, he loses to Romanov, but that's water off duck's back.
Who do you think is in more heavyweights like last 5? Czech Congo or Tony Lopez? Because I feel like one of those two guys makes an appearance in every heavyweight fight.
It's Tony Lopez. And Czech Congo, 46, fighting for a title this year.
Doing the damn thing.
Wild stuff. So if we look at the odds for this fight, Arlovski opened a minus 300 favorite. He's a minus 157 right now. Vanderaa opened a plus 250. He's plus 129. I wish I could have got Vanderaa plus 250. And we look at the topology votes. 732 total votes. 88% Arlovski. 82% by decision for the 12% that have Vanderaa. 44% by knockout. 46% by decision. I could definitely see Andrei Arlovski going out there winning another decision. I look at the 4 fights that he has for wins lately. Felipe Lins, mobile striker from distance with power. Tanner Boser, in and out striker from distance. Chase Sherman, striker from distance. Carlos Felipe, boxer from distance. Jared Vanderaa doesn't fight like any of those guys, and I know we disagree on this one, and we're going to get into the intricacies of it. I think Jared Vanderaa has a good opportunity to actually get a win here. People are going to disagree with me because I'm in the minority, obviously, and he is the underdog. But I like Jared Vanderaa for the fact that he closes distance. Now, when he closes distance, he eats a lot of shots. Arlovski doesn't hit like he used to. I think Vanderaa is going to go out there, put on the most boring heavyweight fight you've ever seen. He's going to get the win over the former champion who debuted in 98 and got a win over Vyacheslav Datsik. And he's going to call out somebody that he has no business calling out. That's what I see happening. But I do have Vanderaa as the dog in this one.
Here's my only problem with that. Strikers can't close the distance on Andrei Arlovski. So how is a guy who is a poor striker on the outside going to do that? I just don't think he's going to be able to get his arms around Arlovski throughout the fight. And maybe he can, and if he does, it's going to have a lot of success. And he is the bigger guy, like you said. You don't get a nickname like the Mountain at heavyweight by just being a small dude. But Andrei Arlovski at this stage of his career has shown an incredible ability to get his back up or off of the cage, and he moves left to right extremely well for, again, a guy who's 43 years of age who's still fighting in MMA. I don't love picking Andrei Arlovski at this stage of his career, but I do think he'll be able to get a decision win.
Again, Czech Congo's fighting for a title at 46 in the year 2022.
And last point for me, I might not like picking Andrei Arlovski this weekend with his age. Alexis Davis looked pretty good, though, at her age last weekend, so age is just in your head. It's just a number, maybe.
Split on the pick. Matt going with Belarus's own. I think he's actually an American citizen now. We'll have to look into that one and report it back at the end of the week. I've got California's own Jared Vanderaa to get the win. You let us know down below in the comment section who you have. Do you agree? Are you going with the dog, Vanderaa? Or are you going with a guy whose nickname is after a dog, Andrei Arlovski? Big time fights coming up on this card, including Nasrat Hakparas and Bobby Green. I can't wait for that. So keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks. We always say, let's get into it.